Is eating meat bad karma? What is karma? Karma literally means action in Sanskrit. Now, in the West, the word karma has been infused for quite a while. People generally know what karma is, what goes around comes around, do unto others. And, basically, karma, in the sense, gives us the understanding that for whatever action we do, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So, is meat eating bad karma? Some would say yes. As we try to satisfy our gullets with the expense of innocent animals who have done us no harm, who have never been associated with us in any way, and they lose their lives helplessly and in the most degraded fashion, just to satisfy our senses. There must be karma. For treating the animals the way we do, how can there not be karma? Karma affects us in every way we can think of. Karma, or bad karma, in this case, lacks compassion. We can see how our society is by the way we interact with each other, even as human beings. So how can we negate the fact that there could be karma when everything we eat, everything we occupy, the way we behave with each other and the animals, the wars that are caused, the strife that is in society in all nations, in the US, Canada, India, everywhere. There must be a reason for that. And one of the main reasons is that the way we treat our fellow animals, our fellow citizens. So karma literally means action and the reaction from that particular action. Newton's law. For every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. When we eat meat, we have to first understand, where does this meat come from? It just doesn't pop up in our plate or in some grocery store, frozen food aisle. No, there's a vast amount of effort put in these products that have been fed to you, and that affects our consciousness. When an animal is being butchered or killed, it has feelings, it has emotions, it has anxieties, it has fears. And those fears are going into that food substance that you consume. And when you consume that food substance, you develop that consciousness. And thus, you are affected by that way of thinking. What you are, what you eat. Now, when we eat animals, we are not having them live out their lives the way they're meant to. We feel that we as human beings have a right to dominate and control everything we can. And that is the cause of the destruction of our society so far. There's wars, violence everywhere, upheaval. People are demonstrating their animalistic tendencies because this is their consciousness. People are unhappy. So how can you be happy if you're devouring animals? You have to understand the concept of reincarnation now. When we hurt a living being, any living being, whether human being or animal, we have to come back and repay that debt. So when we kill an animal, when we make it suffer, what essentially do is that we cause ourselves to create that karma, and thus we have to come back to repay that debt to that animal. So we have to work on the process of compassionism. Compassionism means to not harm any living being to the most of our extent. Yes, we may walk on ants, we may hurt, even vegetarians. People may say, well, isn't eating vegetables bad karma too? We are hurting them. But the fact that the vegetarian or the vegetables or the plants don't have a central nervous system causes them to not feel as much as pain as the animals do. And there's a vast difference between cutting the head off a cow or chicken or a goat or a pig and that of pulling a vegetable or a plant off the ground. There's a vast difference. So when we create this kind of atmosphere in our society, in our consciousness, we exhibit that by how we treat each other. We should focus more on our relations with our fellow citizens. The animals are also our fellow citizens. Yes, and they have every right, as we do, to live and be peaceful and be happy. We have no right to dominate them. So yes, there is bad karma for eating meat. When we devour the flesh of the dead, first of all, we don't have any need to devour the flesh. We don't have any need to eat helpless little animals who have done us no harm. And yet we pride on ourselves on taking our dogs for a walk, having goldfish, having a cat. Why can't we eat those? There would be an uproar, especially in the West. If someone were to eat their dog or someone's dog got eaten, it's unheard of. But why the hypocrisy? Why can we eat chickens or pigs or cows, but not dogs? Why not cats? Where are the boundaries? Who sets the lines? Man's best friend?